Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
A California school district reverses itself with regards to a prohibition on the word Bible. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, who is the vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, this case comes out of Watsonville, California. The Pajaro Valley Unified School District has now approved the Child Evangelism Fellowship of Santa Cruz County to distribute permission slips. They banned the distribution of permission slips for the Good News Clubs, which are for after-school programs for the students, because it had the word Bible on it. And now, after Liberty Counsel got involved, they've reversed themselves, and they'll allow the permission slips to go forward.
And that's good news here. And I think we do see sometimes where school districts like this are, I think, operating in good faith. They really believe that they're prohibited from having any mention of Bible in this case, or Christianity or Christian in anything to do with official school functions and so forth, and they're just simply mistaken. And once they're educated, oftentimes they will reverse course here. Liberty Counsel has defended CEF on a number of occasions, and almost universally we end up winning if it goes to trial, certainly. But usually school districts, once they get the proper information in front of them and see that the ACLU and what they're teaching is simply not true, they will reverse course. So this is good news.
Yeah, this is good news, no pun intended, but it's good news. This particular school is an elementary school, and like many elementary schools, they have after-school program. For example, the Boy Scouts oftentimes are providing after-school programs, and in order to give the information to the parents so they know what program to select as an option for their child, the school allows these permission slips or these notification slips to be distributed to the students, and then also those then go to the parents. Well, that's what they have here. They have this form for permission slips or notifications, and CEF wanted to make use of that to get these permission slips to be distributed to the students. They go to the parents. The parents then choose whether they want to send their child there. But the school was apparently under the impression that the word Bible was unconstitutional. So CEF was told by the district that the word Bible in its permission slip must be removed in order to utilize the school's flyer distribution program. The permission slip contained the word Bible and described, quote, Bible stories, close quote. And that's what ultimately raised the red flag. So they were given the ultimatum. You can't use the flyer distribution program if you have the word Bible. If you take the word Bible out, you can use it. CEF contacted Liberty Counsel. We got involved, sent information to the school, and the school abruptly reversed its course and now will allow these permission slips.
Well, that's just another example of the decades-old misnomer, quote, separation of church and state being once again misapplied. And, I mentioned earlier the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union. I point them out because they're really the largest organization that really is engaged in this kind of disinformation campaign. And the ACLU has said this in their promotional materials, quote, the message of the Establishment Clause is that religious activities must be treated differently from other activities to ensure against governmental support for religion. Well, no, that's not the message of the Establishment Clause whatsoever. The message of the Establishment Clause, 10 words, is simply this: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Congress, the United States Congress, shall make no law respecting a specific state religion, establishment of religion. How far we've come that we now have school districts who are engaging in, at the behest of the ACLU, constitutionally prohibited viewpoint discrimination, and that's what the ACLU is asking people to do, is to engage in viewpoint discrimination, which is in and of itself unconstitutional.
Yeah, they've really turned the First Amendment on its head. Instead of protecting religious freedom, they say that you have to actually give special disabilities to religious speech. So if you have speech that's secular and speech that's religious, you can't treat them the same, that you have to give a certain disability to the religious speech and not give it the same advantages or opportunities. And so that's why you have this unbelievable situation. We're glad that it was resolved, but unbelievable situation that the word Bible would trigger someone's thinking that it was somehow unconstitutional. And in fact, it was the Bible that was the most influential book in American schools for many, many years.
Irrefutably.
Then, no question about it, it was the Bible that was the most quoted source by the founders by far of any other source. Locke and Montesquieu, all of them combined, did not equal the amount of times the founders quoted the Bible. And it was the New England Primer that was the first printed textbook in America that had Bible in it. That was the second most influential book in American public school history for 200 years.
Well, even Thomas Jefferson, who secularists love to cite as that great separationist, even Thomas Jefferson said on more than one occasion that the Bible should be taught in every school, public schools, that students should be learning to read and so forth from the Bible. And in fact, they were. As you mentioned, the New England Primer was a standard instructional little booklet that kids learned to read from that had Bible verses and everything else in there that kids would actually learn to read. How far we've come, in a world now that the ACLU has seek to create here that is purely secularist, even saying again in their own, I can't get over this fact that even in their own promotional materials, they say that the Establishment Clause requires that religious activities must be treated differently. That's discrimination. That's unconstitutional viewpoint discrimination. That is simply wrong.
Well, even if you go today, if you were an archaeologist and uncovered the ruins, so to speak, of the University of Virginia and dug down to the cornerstone, you'd find at the bottom of that the Bible. When Thomas Jefferson, of course, he wanted to be known for three things, and it's written on his tombstone. One of them is the founding of the University of Virginia. And, of course, when that school was founded, on the cornerstone, they laid the Bible there in the ground as part of the cornerstone of the University of Virginia, Jefferson's school. The idea of the Bible becoming radioactive, that it can't be even mentioned in a little flyer is unbelievable. The good news is that the Supreme Court has ruled on these Good News Club cases.
Over and again.
And it said that you can't discriminate because of the religious or Christian viewpoint.
Yeah.
If you have, whether it's facilities or time or fees or the ability to announce, like through a bulletin board or through a flyer system, you've got to give equal treatment to the same kind of treatment that you give to secular groups. You can't have a disability placed on them simply because of their religious viewpoint.
Absolutely. And, Matt, President Obama once said that and has said on more than one occasion, in fact, that he seeks to, quote, fundamentally transform America. And in order to fundamentally transform America, you have to get away from America's moorings, from the true history of America. An accurate history becomes the enemy to those who seek to fundamentally transform America. And that's why we see this kind of historical revisionism certainly playing out in our public schools. But we also see judicial activists who also share that goal, who want to fundamentally transform America into something that America is not, revising history as well in their own rulings. But the good news is, again, no pun intended, as you mentioned, the Supreme Court has held that this type of viewpoint discrimination is unequivocally unconstitutional.
No question about that. Well, the good news is this has been resolved. Liberty Counsel works with Child Evangelism Fellowship all around the country. It was founded in the 1920s, and it is in about 170 countries now. There's over almost 4,000 schools in the country that have Good News Clubs on campus. If you want to be part of this turnkey operation, which is the Good News Club, to be able to take good news to the elementary schools in your area, you can call Liberty Counsel at 1-800-671-1776. You can also go to our website at lc.org and send us an email. We'll put you in touch with the national as well as the state and local Child Evangelism Fellowship organizations so you can be a part of this great and exciting ministry. Or you can be, if you're a church, you can adopt a Good News Club by praying for that particular school, having volunteer resources for that school, and also providing some funding to be able to make sure that a Good News Club can get in that particular school. Call us today at 1-800-671-1776. You can get the New England Primer. This is one of the most influential books in American public schools. It was the first printed textbook in America. And also the book by David Barton. As the ACLU said about the First Amendment Establishment Clause, why don't you read about what the founders said about the First Amendment and the rest of the Constitution by getting the book Original Intent by David Barton. That's David Barton's book, Original Intent, and then also the New England Primer. You can give a contribution to Liberty Counsel for both of those books, and we'll send them to you right away. Call us today at 1-800-671-1776 and visit us online at lc.org.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.